Well, if you are a new college grad or a parent of one, then you know these days it is brutal to look at the size of that student loan nut at the end of those 4 years, especially in light of this job market. But there's an incredible, really incredible new loan program just underway, and our financial contributor, Melody Hobson, president of Ariel Investments, is here to tell us about it. This is big news, isn't it?
I am so excited about this program. So it's called the Income-Based Repayment Plan. I know that's a mouthful, but it's really great. And basically, it's going to make people feel a lot better about the student debt that they're graduating college with. And here's the bottom line on it. The new rules say if you have a federal loan, it will not be more than 15% of your monthly income. So that means your repayment plan is going to be much lower on a monthly payment, on a monthly basis, and it allows kids to get back on their feet really fast.
And I'm sure it must inform career choices, right? If it's pegged to wherever you go, that means it may be easier to do those noble professions that don't pay so much at the outset.
That's exactly right, because there's actually some stipulations to it that if you choose to work, for example, in a nonprofit or become a teacher or do advocacy law, anything like that, after you graduate, your repayment plan will only go for 10 years, and whatever you owe after that 10 years actually gets waived.
Wow, wow. So break it down in terms of dollars. Let's use some figures here.
Okay, so
talk about the savings.
Let's just say you're the typical student. You graduate from college. You typically owe about $22,000 in debt. So that's a big number. Now, if you look at what a student would pay today on those loans, it's about $253 a month. Now, we all know students don't make a lot when they graduate. So let's say your income, your yearly income is $25,000. Now, with this new plan, pegged at 15% of your monthly income, your monthly payment drops to $110.
Right.
So instead of $253, you're now paying $110. And it's not just based on your income, it's also based on what state you live in and how big your family is.
Right.
And it adjusts around those issues on a yearly basis.
Now, I remember personally having to refinance my student loans early on in my working years, but all it did was extend the life of it, and I ended up paying a lot more interest. Is that the case here?
Well, that's one of the downsides here. So one of the downsides, without a question, is it's going to stretch your payments out over a much longer period of time. So typically, people would imagine ending their payments after about 10 years. You can go much, much longer now because the payments on a monthly basis will be much smaller, which means ultimately more interest. The other downside here is every year you have to report to the government your income, where you live, how big your family is. You have to be really disciplined about it, or it reverts back to that old payment plan with a much bigger payment.
And fiscal discipline at age 23 is not a given. So, and who's eligible? Anybody?
No, not everyone, but a big chunk of people are eligible. So you're eligible if you have a federal Stafford loan, which is the most popular type of federal loan out there. If you have something called the Grad Plus loan, or if you have a federal consolidated loan. So that's a lot of people. You are not eligible if you're a parent who's taken out loans for your children. It doesn't count for you. If you have a private loan from a bank, it doesn't count. And interestingly, you're not eligible if you're in default on a loan with the federal government right now. They won't help you out.
Okay, a little fine print in there, but thank you for setting the table. And if you want to sort out the details, you can find a lot more important information on our website, abcnews.com.